Hey guys, Scott DeSalvo, the injury lawyer, shooting a new video for you today. And today's topic is, what is an MSA set aside? What is a Medicare set aside, and why do I need one in my workers' comp case? So, I have a client with a workers' comp case and an extremely complex medical history, and the case has been pending for a long time now. She's been getting benefits the whole time. But we're now getting close to the end of the case where we're going to settle it. And we sat down with her the other day and sort of had to go through what an MSA was, why we have to do one, right? So I figured, why not? I'm sure a lot of people are like, what is an MSA? Mary, Sam, Alpha. It stands for Medicare Set Aside. And so what the heck is a Medicare Set Aside, and why do you even have to know what it is, and why do we need one in a workers' comp case? Well, a Medicare set-aside is a calculation usually done by a company that specializes in calculating how much future medical care you're likely to need after an injury, after a case settles, right? So you get medical care after an injury, you settle the case. After that date, usually your employer and their insurance company isn't on the hook for any future medical care. But one thing is certain, depending on how old you are, eventually you are probably going to go on Medicare. Like once you're 67 or 65 or whatever age you get on it. Or if you become disabled and you get on Social Security disability due to an injury or an illness or other challenge that you have, if you get on Social Security disability, that's similar to the Medicare program. So what a Medicare set-aside does is it says, okay, he's settling or she's settling their workers' comp on this date. We need some reliable calculation as to how much medical care for those same parts of the body the person's going to need in the future. And then we're going to want the employer or their insurance company to fund an amount of money to account for that future medical care for the injuries sustained in the accident. So Medicare or Social Security disability isn't on the hook for paying those bills. In other words, eventually the injured worker is gonna be on Social Security or on Medicare or on Social Security disability, where their medical bills are going to be getting paid by the federal government or by the state government through the federal government. And what they're saying is, well, wait a minute, if this person has any future medicals, future medical care needs, future medical bills related to the work accident, we want the workers' comp insurance company to put some extra money aside to compensate for those bills so Medicare doesn't have to pay them. That future medical care that's related to the work injury gets paid out of the MSA fund, right? So I know that it's still complicated, but honestly, that's about as simple as I can explain it. An MSA is a calculation of how much your medical bills in the future are going to be for the injuries you suffered in the work injury. Can't make it simpler than that. I know it's still a little confusing. So who does it? Well, it's usually an outside company, and usually it's the respondent, your employer's insurance company, who pays an outside company to do the calculation. Now, in many cases, they do an MSA analysis and the number's 0. Or if you're discharged from the doctor with 0 out of 10 pain, they're not going to do an MSA. Now, why do lawyers and insurance companies decide to do an MSA? Well, they decide to do an MSA analysis. Like, they don't want to do it because it costs money to hire a company to do that analysis, and then they have to fund the money. They have to put money aside to fund the amount of money it says in the MSA, right? Well, the reason why lawyers and the insurance company are required to do it is because Medicare requires their interests to be considered in any serious injury case involving workers' comp, right? Now, there's talk that this might come to personal injury cases generally. There's talk that in car accident cases, they're going to start doing this at some point in the future. And boy, that's going to cause some real problems. But Right now, the talk is that that's going to happen in the future, but it's not here now. Right now, it is here for workers' comp. So what a lawyer and an insurance company don't want to do is be accused of not taking Medicare's interests into account. Because what happens to you then is Medicare can come back when you're retired and say, whoa, there should have been a $20,000 Medicare set aside for your leg injury, and we see you're going to the doctor for your leg injury now, so we're not paying those bills at all. You're going to have to pay all those bills. And until you pay $20,000 worth of leg care, we are not paying any more of your medical care. Big problem, right? The other possibility is that Medicare goes after the insurance company after the case is over years later, or they sue your lawyer or sue the defense lawyer. So, nobody wants that. And, let's face it, if the federal government wants to come after you, they're going to come after you. And that's why it's necessary for your safety and for future exposure of the insurance company and the lawyers involved that they have to consider Medicare's interests in the case. And considering Medicare's interests for future medical in the case means doing an MSA set aside, right? Now, I will be honest with you, a giant Medicare set aside, the way people do it vary, and the numbers that they come up with vary. I've had cases where the Medicare set aside number was, $300,000. And as a result, the insurance company didn't want to settle the case. They're like, look, we're not paying you guys this huge amount of money for the injuries and then also putting another $300,000 for future medical care on the table. Sometimes MSA companies make a mistake. Sometimes there's a second MSA done, or a competing MSA done, and everybody puts their heads together. But this is what I'll tell you. What is the practical effect of MSAs, Medicare set-asides, on settling a workers' comp case? It delays everything. Why? Because the Medicare set-aside company does the calculations, and that can take a long time. Depending on how backlogged they are, it can take them months to get the number, because they have to review all the medical bills, all the medical records, key everything into a computer program, and then double check the work by hand. So it is a massive undertaking. And if you have massive injuries, getting all the medical bills and records is really a challenge, right? And then the next step is they submit it to Medicare. And Medicare is the federal government, and there's a certain amount of bureaucracy involved. Now, this is what I'll say. Boy, they've speeded up a lot. It's way faster working with them than it used to be years and years ago. And they're getting pretty good with technology. So instead of doing everything by hand and by paper, you're able to submit a lot of stuff through their web portal. And it seems like that is much faster than it used to be. But it's like anything else. They're a giant government organization processing thousands upon thousands of these things every month, and we just have to wait our turn. So, we can't really do anything until it's been reviewed and accepted by Medicare. And then once that's done, we can move forward with your settlement. So, Reader's Digest version of that is it just delays and slows everything down. So, that's basically what a Medicare set-aside is and how it affects your workers' comp case. I hope that information helps you. Really, the only antidote to your frustration is patience, and hopefully you have an attorney that answers your questions and keeps you apprised of the status of the case. Fingers crossed on that one, right? So, yeah, that's all I got to say. This is the other thing I'll say. If your loved one has been hurt, or you know anybody who needs an injury lawyer, or if you have a question about an injury case, I offer a free consultation at my phone number. It gets answered every day, every hour of the day, anytime, day or night. And that number is 312-500-4500, 312-500-4500. Even if you're not hurt, if you have a friend who needs a lawyer or who you think needs a lawyer, have them give me a call or give me a call on their behalf. A lot of times people aren't ready to talk to a lawyer, and that's why I created 2 awesome tools on my website. These are not the only tools or informative tools or reports or injury cheat sheet. I have a ton of really useful information on my website that I made for free to educate injured people and give them answers so they don't have to talk to a lawyer, because a lot of times people aren't ready to call a lawyer. One of them is the case cash calculator. Tells you what your case might be worth. And the other one is the good case calculator. Tells you whether your case might be good or whether it might have some real challenges. Good information for you to know. And the best part is it's free and no obligation. The second best part is it literally takes you 10 or 20 seconds to answer the multiple choice questions, and then you get answers to a lot of your questions. So I'm going to leave the link in the description to both of those tools. Please feel free to use them and pass them on to anyone you think it might help or benefit. So what else do you need to know, folks? Well, if you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe to the video. Hit the bell so you get notified of my new videos. I literally have well over 200 videos on my account now, so you can always go to my account page and search, and I bet you I've answered your question maybe more than once. But I also release a video or 2 every week, so that's why you probably want to be subscribed. Last thing I'll say is, if you enjoy my videos, if the information I'm providing helped you, if you called me and got a consultation from me, whether I became your lawyer or not, and you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, I need as many good Google reviews as I can get. And a 5-star review from you on Google would really help me. And the best part is it doesn't cost you anything but 5 to 10 seconds of your time. So I'm going to leave the link in the description. All you do is you go to that web address in a browser on your phone, tablet, or PC, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. You're done like that in 5 or 10 seconds, but it is an invaluable favor to me that would really help me out. So if you don't mind doing it, if you feel weird about doing it or you don't want to, that's perfectly okay. But if you wouldn't mind doing it, it would really be a help to me, and I'd really appreciate it. And that's all I have for you. I hope you and the family are well. I hope things are sunnier for you than they are today with this weather. We got some rain going on. It's a gloomy day. But I appreciate you watching my videos. I really, really do. Spread the word if you know anybody who needs to get turned on to the videos and become a subscriber. And as always, if I can help, feel free to give me a call. 312-500-4500. Thanks so much. Have a great day and take care.